Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Michael and I am the host of MDL Crochet. First and foremost, I want to thank my new subscribers and my returning subscribers. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. I'm sitting here finishing up Rob the Crochet Guy's blanket that he won on Michi's Potterversary a couple months ago. Now, I am a little bit behind. I should have had this done earlier, but with being a content creator and a designer, certain things had to take back seats, because I needed certain things to come out sooner. So I've been working on this off and on. I have 2 rows left. Now, before I finish the finishing rows, I am weaving in the Jacob's ladder aspect. And this is done in Tunisian crochet because, well, that's me. Now, I want to remind you all that we only have a week and some change left for our dementia awareness pattern, where all the proceeds will be going to the Dementia Society of America. For the entire month of June, I am donating all proceeds from that pattern to the Dementia Society of America. And we only have a week and some change left. So if you haven't snatched up the pattern yet, please go do it. So that way all the proceeds go to a good cause. So I have been tagged by a few creators to do the content creator tag questions, and then in the most recent one has been by Camille's Creations. And then I've also been tagged about the top 10 music choices, and that recent one has been by Infinitely Zero Nessa. So let me pull up the questions so I can answer those while I work on doing this. So the first question is, how did you learn to crochet? Well, for me, how I learned to crochet was I was 14 years old, and it was around 1990, 1991, somewhere in there. And we got a big blizzard. Now, where I do live, we do occasionally get the big blizzards. And we didn't have cable television, and school was closed. And all we had was, the ABC, NBC, and CBS, Fox, and I don't think the CW was around yet. And, of course, during the day, you know what was on? Soap operas. And I don't like reading books. And I lived with my grandmother, and she crocheted a lot. Anytime she was sitting, at a retirement age, when she was retired, that's what she did a lot. She was crocheting. So I just was bored, and I didn't play video games at that time. And I was just like, Grandma, show me how to crochet. So she taught me the basics: how to do a chain, single crochet, double crochet, and a treble. And a few days I played with it, and I learned a lot. And then I remember, because my great grandmother also crocheted, and I remember she had in the hall closet a bag full of unfinished projects from my great grandmother, and they were pretty intricate stuff. And I asked her if I could dig through there and see if I can find something that I can finish. And she said, Michael, that those patterns are over your head, and that, but, if I can figure it out, go for it. So I picked this pillowcase that my great grandmother was doing, and I slowly unraveled stitches so I could see what she did, so I could learn. I didn't know names of stitches. I didn't know anything. And it was flowers galore. It was lacy, and I slowly unraveled a few rows so I could see what she was doing. And once I figured it out, I just did it. And I figured, it was amazing. I was able to even match her attention. But I showed my grandmother when I was finished, and it took me I'd say about 5 days. About a day maybe day and a half of slowly unraveling, writing down what she did so I can know what she did and grasp the idea, and I got it. So that's how I learned. What is your favorite thing to crochet? I really don't have a favorite thing to crochet. I don't have a least favorite thing to crochet either. I have a dislike, but I also like doing them. The dislike, but like doing them, is blankets because blankets are slow. With Tunisian crochet, you're building up a row. I'd say that it's about the size of a row of a single crochet. And in order for us to do a row, we got to do a forward pass and a return pass. That equals a row. Whereas in crochet, you just do the forward pass, flip your work, keep going, and just keep flipping around. So it takes us longer to make a blanket. That is, I guess you could say, a dislike, but I also like doing them because they offer a bigger canvas to do what I want to do. If you could only use one yarn for the rest of your life, what would it be? That's an easy one. Big twist. Anything big twist, I would use. Just because I love the way that the feel of big twist. Now, I know Joann's is gone. And I know Hirschner's is getting the big twist value. And Michael's is getting some of the other big twist yarns. So they're still going to be around. And I have a mess ton of big twists. So it's still going to be around. Now, the next question is, what is the weirdest thing you've ever made? I don't think I've ever actually made anything that's weird. I haven't. I've never made anything that is weird. So, I guess you can say nothing. Now, the next question would be, what is something you'll never crochet? You can't, I can, that's hard to say because I don't want to say I'm not going to ever crochet something and then turn around and do it. I don't really, maybe undergarments. I don't think you should crochet undergarments, but that's about it. You know, with Tunisian crochet, you could do some really nice pants, and they're not holey, so you're not going to get, the see-through aspect as you do with the granny square shorts that people do, or the granny stitch pants people do. With Tunisian crochet, it's real, especially if you use, the solid stitches, it's a solid piece of fabric. So I really can't say. It's just going to be undergarments, I guess you could say. Let's see. Where do you get your inspiration? My inspiration comes from a lot of places, but a lot of it is historical. I love history. I love late medieval period down, which means from late medieval period to ancient Egypt times, even further. That's what I love because, look at the designs that they came up with. That stuff is what really inspires me a lot with a lot of my patterns. A lot of the patterns you haven't been able to see yet because I haven't been able to get to them. There are a few I've gotten to that I haven't been able to show you yet. So that is where I get a lot of my inspiration from. Come on, look at when they uncover one of those ancient Roman floors, the mosaic floors. Just look how gorgeous that is. Or even some of the ancient carvings from ancient Egypt. Just wow. The designs that they came up with. It's just, oh my gosh. Some of my inspiration actually comes from medieval TV shows, documentaries, dramas, in some of their clothing. And it's not going to be like the main piece of clothing. It's the trim stuff or a painting or even again the architecture that they have decided to use. that gives me a lot of inspiration to just come up with stuff. And it's amazing, and I love it. And I sit here a lot when I'm sitting here creating. And I mean, this is where I sit all the time. I'm watching history documentaries, history dramas, history movies. I watch a lot of that, and I love it. So the next question is favorite thing you've made so far this year? The favorite thing I have made so far this year is Ruby's Dream. And the second favorite thing I've made so far this year is my Ireland blanket. Now, Ruby's Dream will stay my favorite for a long time. The Ireland blanket, I've got some other blankets coming up that could knock Ireland down a peg. I've got the illusions. There's going to be a series of blankets in the illusions. I've got shawls, that I have planned. So it could change. But Ruby's Dream will stay number one for quite a while. Next question is crochet plans you're excited about for the future. Now, the crochet plans that I have in the immediate future, I'm always excited about. If it's Tunisian crochet, I'm excited about it. Is kind of, yeah, it's crochet related, but and it does involve me moving a lot of fiber around. Is I'm moving the studio around. I'm going to be organizing my yarns. I'm going to be changing things up. I want a comfortable space to where whenever I go live, I can be comfortable. When I go live right now, I'm here at my desk, and I have a decent sized desk, but this is somewhere I'm at all the time when I'm creating, filming, and editing. When I go live, I kind of want to relax. So I'm going to create a little space that I can, put my feet up and we can just go live and chat and work on something simple. So there's going to be some moving around and some changes here, not on my channel. So that there's that coming up. And then I have been looking through and trying to figure out what is my next bag-a-day conversion. A couple days ago, I was going through my stitch library and I was looking at stitches and what do I want to use for a next upcoming project. And I saw this one stitch and it just stuck out to me. I didn't want to use it yet. And it just stuck out to me. But then I was scrolling through YouTube, and lo and behold, Bag a Day, Crystal, reposted a video of hers from 3 years ago of a top. And that top had a stitch in it that I can very closely resemble with Tunisian. And I knew right then and there that's what I wanted to do. Now I had to find the yarn that was very comparable in color. She uses wool and stuff in her. I can't use wool, but I found a cotton that is a 3-weight DK that is going to help the stitch be the star of the show, and it'll look like what she did. And it's very comparable in color to what she did. I'm looking forward to that. That yarn should be here sometime this week or next week. Not sure when they decide to mill it. And I should be able to start it after I get this room moved around the 1st of July. And then, of course, I'm looking forward to converting my Bunny Meadows blanket into a shawl, a reading shawl. I'm excited about all of it, really. Everything I have planned, from blankets to shawls to bags. I'm excited about all of it. Getting to it, though, that's the different story. Even there's a couple cardigans I have designed that I want to do. Just getting to it is the issue. Because sometimes I get a little sidetracked. And Again, like I said, if it involves Tunisian crochet, I'm always excited about it. You know that. If you followed me long enough, you know if it involves Tunisian crochet, Michael gets excited. Worst things about crochet. The worst things about crochet is yarn. And what I mean by that is we see something new, we got to have it. Or we're working on something, we ran out of yarn, or something like that, and the yarn's been discontinued. So yarn is the worst thing about crochet. And then the last question is your favorite thing about crochet? Yarn. Yarn is also the favorite thing about crochet. Because, I mean, it's the colors, the different textures. It's very, yarn is exciting. And it is very, it's just very exciting. Now, the next thing I was tagged in is it's supposed to be your 10 daily songs. I don't really listen to music. It's just like reading, I really don't do it. Music sidetracks me. And the only time I really listen to music is when you get in the car and you're going somewhere. You got to turn on the radio. Silence just isn't going to cut it. So I don't really listen to it. I'm thinking of projects when I'm in the car. I'm coming up with, trying to figure out different ways to do different things because I like to bring new ways of doing new things or coming up with ways to do something in Tunisian that's never been done before. Casey Jacob's ladder. It's all been done a certain way. Well, I found a way to do it with the loopy loops that hasn't been done before. So that's what I think about when I'm listening to music in the car. Back when I was in my early 20s, I did listen to a lot of music. Incubus, Matchbox 20, Dream Theater. Let's see. Currently, there's some songs that I do like from Imagine Dragons. But there's also two songs from a group called Live that they did. I want to say is late 90s or early 2000s. Two songs, Lightning Crashes, which I love that song, and Dolphins Cry. Those two songs are pretty much kind of my favorites. And, well, I have a third favorite. The third favorite is Time of Your Life by Green Day. That song, I just adore it. So that's pretty much it for me on those two tags. Now, I want to tag some creators. And you can tag people here too in the comments that you want to answer these questions. And if they have a channel, please feel free to video it. Put it up for all of us to share, see, and hear, and just keep spreading it. So the creators I want to tag are Ola Joe the Crocheting Sailor, Michi at Michi's Crochet Nook, Jill at Fiber Floozy, Froggy at Froggy Went to Knitting, and if she'll do it, Tiffany at Crochet with Tiffany. So I hope you all have a great day and a great rest of your week. I'll be looking forward to your answers and just enjoy watching what y'all say and hearing what you say. But until next time, folks, you know what I like to say, and there's a reason why I say it. And the reason is because if you keep stitching, you're still moving forward. And you're still going. So, keep stitching.